Raise your vibration by tuning in to Awakening Code Radio every Tuesday night here on KX 93.5.
Tonight we're talking about not rewriting an old chapter of your life if you're not happy where a certain aspect of your life is right now. Relational, situation, job. If you're kind of stuck, Reverend Danielle talks to people like you all the time, and she's going to kind of give some tips on rewriting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's a couple of reasons why we get stuck. We talked about what we can get stuck in: health, relationships, job situations. So the question is, why do we get stuck? A lot of people are perhaps afraid of change. They think that there's a routine, there's a way of doing things, it feels safe, it feels normal, and there's always that idea that what I have now, maybe it's not so good, but maybe it's not so bad. If I change, it could get worse. So there's a fear factor in wanting to at least have things not get worse than what they are. Some people won't change because they're afraid of the consequences of the change, that if I do this or if I do that, it'll hurt this person or change that. And there's that guilt factor that they're not allowed to do something for themselves. They're unworthy of that change. They really don't think that there's somebody out there better for them, or a better job, or that they've done something in their life. Guilt is such a huge factor in things that we hold in our body that say, I deserve this. I did something. Maybe I wasn't great to my spouse, so maybe I deserve to be sick. And as silly as that sounds, a lot of people hold patterns or beliefs like that. But the biggest thing is they don't even know it's possible to want something more. So the question is, how do you get them to actually get to that place in their mind and their body and spirit that says it is okay for me to want something more? And it's not selfish, and it's okay. And what I want to tell everybody out there, love yourself. If you think that that's something that is selfish, let me give you a reframing of that perspective. When you love yourself, when you go deep inside and take this vacation, this permanent vacation from all of this self-judgment and self-reproach, and when you look inside and understand that even if you've done things that you're not proud of, that weren't great, they were part of your life experience and you didn't know any better at the time. And every day, everybody gets up and they do the best that they can with who they are in that moment. And when you can love yourself and say, I'm the best person today that I know how to be, and you say something really empowering, like, I'm willing to see things differently. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, when you say something like, it is what it is, that's one of the most totally disempowering things that you can say. But if you're willing to look at a situation and say, I don't know how to change this, I don't know what it could look like, I don't know what the possibilities are, but I'm willing to believe that of all the bazillion paradigms out there in the universe, there is one for me where this change could line up, and all you have to do is believe in one possibility and love yourself enough to say, it is possible for me to make that change. And then you surrender that to the universe, then that possibility can start revealing itself to you. So if you wake up every day and say, I'm willing to see my life differently, that's when your change can start to begin.
So willingness, I mean, it almost is a form of surrender, but it's into a positive flow. I mean, you're surrendering to the idea that you can move into a greater good. And that sounds almost like a dichotomous statement, but it sort of is, because you've had a dialogue in your head. If you're stuck, you've had a very active, forceful dialogue that is the naysayer, or is the doubter, or is the voice that gives you all these reasons why you deserve or you can't change or whatever. So you almost have to surrender to something that you don't know is going to come at you.
That's right.
That's like jumping off the cliff or jumping into the heart space, whatever. It's taking that leap of faith. It is trusting that there really is a greater good out there. There isn't it is not a given that you have to be in misery, plodding along in a destructive relationship, poor, any of those things. Those are not mandates. They might be your current situation by whatever has happened to you so far. So you might have to just surrender to something, a thought process you don't even know that you know how to have.
That's right.
And trust that a voice is going to rush in there, fill that void, and even if it's a whisper, it says, I hear you. And breathing will help you get to there. If you calm yourself down by just breathing first and listening, you will start, as you eliminate the outside noise and tune back into yourself, you will realize that positive message, that person you were as a young child that ran on positive energy and creativity is not dead. But you've got to sort of allow it to come back into your awareness and grow a bit, step by step. I love what you said. Just take the smallest of steps forward in trust. And to me, we talk about that all the time, that it is so much better to have a cajillion minor epiphanies than the deathbed, the one big one, the whammy
right.
that says, and you just see it all and go, holy, why was I doing this and this and this and this? The small ones are the ones that are going to change your life. And a compass course, I grew up boating and stuff, and you can, if you're only going from here to Catalina, which is about 25 miles away, and if you're 1 degree off, you're still going to hit Catalina, probably in 25 miles. If you're 1 degree off and you're going on a long journey, you'll miss Japan. I mean, you will miss a giant landmass. So that's the thing. The longer the distance, a small, minute adjustment is going to make a major change if you give it time, give it a track to run for a while. You have to trust that.
I've used that analogy myself. It is powerful. And, what you were saying in there about a gazillion little ones, when I work with holistic healing arts professionals and seekers that come to the center, they'll say things like, when is this healing ever going to end? When am I going to get there? When do I get to all the bottom layers? But every single time you make a shift in consciousness, even the smallest one, it's a gift. Why would you want to stop having a gift that you open every single day? It's like it's your birthday. Every minute that you say, I'm willing to see something differently, I'm willing to understand there's a source out there, a powerful, powerful source that is based in love. It is not based in anything else, and all you have to do is be willing to open your heart to it. And I have seen in myself and in family and in people I work with some of the most astonishing, miraculous, immediate shifts in their life from just understanding that it's possible. It's the first step.
Awakening Code Radio is available on podcast. Visit www.kx935.com.